I never know what I'm gonna say, or how I'm gonna say it, but stuff just rolled off the top of my head, the top of my tongue, and like, I try not make sure I don't intentionally try to offend people, but I also know we live in a uber sensitive world, and that is why we really have to communicate. That's why I would tell people, if I say something that offends you, that bothers you, it's really important for you to tell me right then and there, because if you don't, it's like giving me permission to say something along the lines of that, or even take it a step further, because I don't know, and
Right.
so that's the reason why we have to communicate. But yeah, when it comes to, once again, especially for a man, and I can only speak from a man's side of the story, you know what I mean? Like, a friend, and most of my friends are female friends, and I have conversations with them, and I talk about, oh, this person at work, or this person that I know, and they'll look at me and they'll go, "You're such an idiot." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" They're like, "That girl likes you." And in my mind, I'm like, if you don't tell me you like me, I'm thinking we just cool. We just, you laughing at my jokes because I am funny, not because you're trying to, boost my ego, you know. And so I had a conversation with people, and they're like, "Man, you such an idiot. How are you that clueless and you can see other things, you can't see this?" Because when I'm talking to women, I don't look at it like that. I just start thinking like I'm just being a clown and I'm entertaining folks. And I'm thinking that, this person have feelings for me if they don't express it. Especially if like that wasn't the intent of the meet. So like for example, like I would meet people and they'll go, "Oh, I want to be friends first." And I'm like, "No, we can become friends along the way. But if I'm trying to date you, I'm not trying to become friends and then say let's date. I'm like, no, let's start dating and then we can build a friendship and you can become my best friend as we date. And some people don't understand that. But yeah, I understand you gotta have a friendship, but my intent to is to date you. It's like going online and you create a profile and you start communicating with somebody and then they're like, "Yeah, I want to be your friend and get to know you better." That's fine. You can get to know me better. We can become friends. But my intent is to date you. I have an end goal. The end goal is to date you and then lead on to something else. And if you just saying all you want to do is be friends and then see where it goes from there, like, nah, I got enough friends. In fact, I got enough female friends. In fact, my closest friends are female. So I don't know what to tell you. And I'm not trying to change your mind. I'm just telling you what it is for me. That way, I'm not wasting your time and you're not wasting mine. So it's all about communication. But we gotta understand too. We are human beings, and I can say, "Oh, look, I was saying a whole bunch of stuff when I first met you guys." You know, and I started to reevaluate myself. I started to reevaluate the group. I started to reevaluate, life itself. Some things hasn't changed. I question a lot of things. Like this person not burying their husband for 2 years because they think they're going to be resurrected. Like, was your husband named Jesus? Was he immaculately concepted? I don't know. Maybe he was. I'm just saying I wasn't there. You know, uh, I'm just saying, you can unleash me when she posted that. If you don't want me to be unleashed, don't post stuff like that.
That's
Okay.
funny.
So I hope you guys really be bold to bury this man and let this man rest in peace. Okay.
There was. I mean, something, it just lets you know where some people are. It's just amazing how some people just are different places, man. And that's I think that not even get off topic. That's why I think sometimes when people even talk about Christianity, when you put stuff like that up, that's why people say, "Man, y'all are weird" or whatever. Like, come on,
Right.
it's like, come on, man. Let's we got faith and we understand that. But yeah, some stuff like that, some stuff is better left alone. Like, just don't even put that up
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
screen. Come on, man. Yeah,
Look,
yeah. So
I analyze everything, and I think sometimes it's to a fault. Like my sister and I, we were talking, and sometimes we talk about our upbringing and the way our mother, how she, my mother was just quick with the belt, you know, and I knew that and when I had my children, I started out that way, and then I was like, I don't want to be that way. Like that can't be the answer. And so I realized like that's not what I wanted. And so people don't realize like beating your kids, especially the way, like the way we got beaten, like in today's standard, even back then, it was abuse. And nobody's gonna, because it was so common, people couldn't even see it. I'm for real. You know, like like to get beat for some of the simplest, like some breadcrumbs on a can of milk. Come on, Ma. It's breadcrumbs. We're talking about breadcrumbs. We ain't talking about bread. We're talking about breadcrumbs, Ma. You know? And so, like, when the reason that I became, like, the reason I put so much um, comedic tone into things is because, like, I didn't have that in the house. Like, I don't recall too many times where we laughed. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like my mother walked in the door and it was on to the races. Okay, like I wasn't too sure what my name was because I got caught up my name so much. I didn't know how many names I had. I know what my last name were, but man, I had some first names and some middle names. Going through life. You know, and
Right.
so like, and even like now, you try to have a conversation with my mom, and she thinks you're trying to make her feel guilty when you try to express to her like how these things made you feel. So, like, one of the things my sister and I were talking about was we were talking about abortion, right? And I'm not going to stay too long on it. I know it's a very sensitive topic, but one of the things I said is I am pro-life, but I'm also pro-choice because it's not my body. I don't get to decide what a woman. I said I have a problem where a bunch of men in Congress try to make laws to tell a woman what she can do with her body. I have a problem with that. Furthermore, we say that, oh, we don't want them to have abortions, but then when the woman has this child and is struggling with the child, where are these people that say they're pro-life to help raise this child financially, economically, or whatever? Where are they? They're nowhere around. But then they complain that these folks are on welfare. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
what people don't realize, there's second and third order effects of decisions that get made that we, as far as controlling somebody else's choices. You know, um, so I just pay attention to what's going on in the world. I try to educate the people around me best without trying to preach to them. But those are just my things. Those are things I analyze. Those are the things I question. You know, and there are folks that, like, when there's the people that you can't have conversations with are people that are set in their not so much the ways, but set in what they believe. You know, and
Right.
when they set in what they believe, you are wasting your breath. You just can only hope that
Yeah.
something somewhere along the line changes changes their mind. Helps them to see that something is different. People see black and they see white. They don't know. They don't realize there's a gray in the middle. Well, I don't live with the gray. I live with color because life is color. So I want all the colors. I want brown. I want orange. I want yellow. I want fuchsia. I want it all. So it's hard for you to convince me of something, and don't find a piece of document or something that supports what you have to say, and then it has nothing to support the other side just because you're trying to prove me wrong. But again, going all the way back, it's all about communication. You know, I like to talk. So if somebody's dating me, they're gonna hear what I have to say, and I hear what they say. One of the things I realize is that I have a habit of cutting people off, and I consciously um, like pinch myself mentally, like, don't do it, don't do it. Like, cause sometimes I can't control myself. And it's not that because I don't want to hear what they have to say. So sometimes, like, a point is made and I want to respond to that point because if they keep talking, I'm going to forget about it. And then I get down the road somewhere and, like, oh, I don't know what they were talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's not to be rude or anything like that. It's just why sometimes, like, when we talking, I would cut in, or sometimes I just make notes and then I, like, come back to it, you
Right.
know. But yeah, look, the human effect in everything. We always got to account. You got to account for the human effect, for the emotions, for the ups, for the downs. Because when feelings get involved, man, I'm telling you, if you don't talk about it and pretend like it don't exist, that's where it comes back. To haunt you. Bite you in the butt. so to speak. But yeah, man, when you let something out the bag, man, especially for men, it takes a lot of bravery to say something, not knowing how it's gonna go.
You got that right. It is.
And and a lot of times we already we convince ourselves it's not gonna go well, right? But even
Right.
when it does go well, it's still not the same as we had convinced ourselves about it, because we're like, maybe, it won't be so bad. Like, you got a 50-50 chance, right? That's what you say to yourself. But deep down, you had like a 95.5% chance. You really didn't have a shot. But, to be a man about it, because there's another voice in your head singing that song, just be a man about it.
Oh my.
And you back yourself up, and she be like, "No, I'm good. You know, I'm good. You know." And you're like, "Okay, cool." And you say it's cool, but deep down, it ain't cool. But you don't want to show that emotion either.
Oh,
So
I
yeah,
agree. I remember back in college that happened. I was just at some party or something. It was Thursday night, and I was just kind of like in chill mode. I'm like, so I ain't really wasn't really feeling like dancing. What I was just at the whatever. So I just said I was just doing it as a joke. I mean, I literally just did it as a joke. It was this girl. I mean, nice looking girl or whatever. All right, let's just go over here and just say something, just so you don't have to sit on the wall. At least at a whatever. Because I just expected her to say, no, I don't want to dance, and I would just come back and sit down. So whatever. So I said, hold it, because I felt myself turn. I said, hey, yo, what's going on? Yeah, let's go dance, whatever. And she said yes, and I wasn't respond. I wasn't ready for the yes. It was like, wait a minute, hold on, because it was really. I don't even think I just like I was just because I can go to I used to go to parties because I like the music. So I'm like, but let's just she's sitting over there. I just kind of, it was almost like an experiment. Let me just whatever. Let me just go over there and speak or whatever, and then I can just come back and sit down. That'll just add some fun in the night. It threw me because because normally I overthink things. I like Fraser said, normally I overthink and I would have never went over there. I'm like, let's just go over there and just say, hey, do you want to dance? And like I said, nice, attractive looking girl or whatever. And then I said something, and I was on the dance floor or something. And one thing, how he's trying to talk on the dance floor. And I said something like, "Girl, why you never got up with me?" She said, "Why you never approached me?" I'm like, "This is
Oh.
yeah." Like, this is absolutely ludicrous. And this was kind of like, I mean, I think I was probably my junior senior year. Because then it made me think about, all the opportunities you probably missed. Because I don't know how many conversations you missed because you overthink it. You know what I'm saying? It's like this was just a conversation where I didn't even care. I didn't. It wasn't even about the rejection. I was just tired of just kind of. I'm like, let me just go over that person sitting over there. She's been sitting over there for the last 30 minutes. And I think what happens is, and how sometimes guys be like, man, I ain't even gonna deal with that girl because she already looked like she got, she had that look like I'm it. Don't even come say nothing to me. So I'm like, just
Uh-huh.
say something. And she was like, yeah, come on, let's. I'm like, what? Like, and then when she said you never, I'm like, so that meant you already knew me. And I had pledged back then, so kind of. And then I was at ECU, so if you're in the fraternity or sorority, people just kind of know you. So evidently she had evidently known me or known of me, but it was just surprising because
Uh-huh.
not only did the dance come along, but God, yeah, and I said something crazy. Cause let me just say, there's some stupid line like, "Girl, why ain't you never called me?" He said, "You should have said something to me." I'm like, "What in the world?" I don't even know where that thing. I don't even know where the conversation went after then. It was just like I was probably so like in awe, like, "What in the world?" You know what I'm saying? Because again, it made me just go back and think like, Russ, you probably missed a lot of, just a lot overthinking. You just overthink it. You sit there and think, should I, shouldn't I? So yeah,
I have a
yeah.
question for you.
I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead. What'd you say, Freight?
Do you remember what song you danced to?
Doc, I don't know, bro. It's the '80s, man. I don't even know the joint, man. Hold it, hold it, Freight. That was it, Freight. I know what it was, Freight. I got it, cause it was Rob Bass. I love Rob Bass, man. It was Rob Bass. It takes two to make a thing go right, man. It was hype. I'm like, I don't want to sit on the wall to Rob Bass. It's Rob Bass, man. I'm like, Rob Bass, everybody hitting the floor. So if you hadn't picked somebody by the time Rob Bass, you just short because everybody hitting the floor on Rob Bass, bro. It was
Yeah.
like
The
Rob
whole
Bass.
time,
One,
the whole
two,
time you were
three, good
talking,
listener.
the song that came to my head was You got to count me out.
No, man. No, man. The DJ dropped Rod bass, man. And he mixed in. You hear what he said? Yeah. When he hit the yeah, I'm like, oh my God, it's Rod bass. I was like, she was the only one left. I'm like, bro, it ain't even nobody else. You know, and I went with a crew. I had to, you know, we were kind of rolling together. So, but I just moved too slow because everybody ran to the dance floor. It was like, I think people on the dance floor who didn't even have people to dance with. Like, I ain't gonna just go out there and dance in the middle of the floor. That's stupid. So I'm like, let me just ask old girl, man. And she said no. I'm like, whatever. I'm like, I think I would just have to dance to Rod bass. Oh my God, Fred. I didn't think about it until right now. It takes two to make a thing go right.
I'm so glad you remember the song
God, and that was the new Rod bass, man. That was the Rod bass that was rocking the parties, man. Rod bass, like, oh my God, that dude hit it, man. Say what, bro?
What dance were you doing? Were you doing the Humpty? Were you doing the running?
No, what was it? It was the WAP. You know, back then it was the WAP and I forgot the other one, man. It was I knew.
Not the Cabbage Patch.
No, bro. It was after the Cabbage Patch a little bit earlier, bro. That was this is 87, 88. So now we passed the Cabbage Patch.
Oh wow!
I think it was the WAP, though. I think it was the WAP, man. I'm telling you, man. I'm like, Rush, you got to find somebody to dance to Rod bass with. You got to, because you can't let this whole song go and you're going to stand over here on the wall. And then you're the only one standing on the wall because everybody else dancing. Like, that's crazy. It's like everybody dancing, you just standing there looking at everybody dance. You're like, no, man, this is Rod bass.
Look, that was an era where you didn't even have to ask nobody to dance. That was an era where you could, when the song come on, you just start dancing.
I know. No, I want to be on the floor, Ray. No, bro, I want to be on the floor on that one. Not the Rod bass. You can't. It's like, you know, you on the sideline dancing. You're like, why you over there dancing in the corner? Like, no, bro. It's like, nah, I got
to make a thing go right.
You got it. Woo. You can't even sing that now, bro. I'm about to play that now. Rod bass. Oh my God, bro. I hadn't thought about that since that was the song. You gotta dance to Rod bass. Okay, get over it, bro. Since you 55, 57, let it go.
It was killing me. It was killing me. I had to know because
Rod bass, bro. Rod bass. It takes two. The new joint. Yeah. And then he had to know that. You remember that song, Throw That D? And then he mixed that in with it. Oh my God, bro. Oh my God, bro. Bro, that DJ was hitting that night. That DJ was hitting. Lord, we was going wild. I'm like, I'm just glad I got some. I don't even know why I talked to her. I didn't even have to talk to her. I just like the song. I'm gonna just say something crazy on the dance floor. Girl, why didn't you call me? She said, why ain't you never asked? Like, okay, don't mess up Rod bass. Let's just keep going. I don't want to mess up Rod bass, man. God, Frank, thanks for asking that question. I can remember now. It was Rod bass. It takes two. You know I'm gonna listen to that. I got it, y'all. I gotta listen to that song now.
I wish today was the 28th. I would have been on the 6th.
It takes two. Oh my goodness. And Throw That D. That was there. He mixed that, man. Let's Dance. Boy, he dropped the Let's Dance after that. Oh, it was over. Boy, I'm telling you, I can almost remember the whole mix now, bro. That shit was just right. I think we danced for about 2 or 3 songs because he just kept going. Like, okay, now you just got to keep dancing. Like, right. Yeah. So you know how you start, then you just keep, and then you 3 dances in. Like, and then we used to dance in the 80s. They want the 2 steps back and forth. You know, you was trying to kill it back in the 80s, in 87, 88. Yeah, man, it was cardio for real. Yeah. And then don't let somebody shout. Don't let somebody shout, "Get it, Russ." Then you feel like you really gotta go in. Like, oh Lord, then you gotta really go in. You know the bros with you. I know that's it. Then you try to hurt yourself. Like, man, stop, Russ. Oh yeah, like Russ, go Russ. Like, all right, come on, man, no, because then you can't jump out. Yeah, so.
You're not out there trying to do splits and backflips for you.
No, bro, no, I'm on it. Fred, I am so glad you asked that question, bro. It takes two. Oh my goodness. God, I can remember that.
Make a thing go right.
I know.
That need to be the song you come on stage with.
Doing the WAP.
Doing the WAP. Oh my goodness, man. Oh my goodness. That was a fun night right there to think about. That's a good memory, bro. That's a good. The song made it good. I mean, I remember I remember talking to the girl. I just in the now I can hear the club. Yeah, everybody was going off, man. The whole floor. Woo! Everybody was yelling like, you know how that whole club.
You already know it.
Yeah, then the DJ turned the music down. Then you just had you had everybody chanting. Oh my goodness, yeah. That was a good moment in college. I'm glad you asked me the song, bro. Man, all of that back. But yeah, I wanted to dance. She was the last one on. Go ahead, bro.
I'm glad you remember that song because all I kept thinking was you were saying to yourself, "You gotta count me out."
I must be older than you, Fred. I must be older than you. Who's that New Edition? Who sang that? Count me out. Who is that sang that? Was that New Edition?
That's New Edition.
Yeah. That's Young Bobby in them. Yes, sir. I had the oldie New Edition, whatever that. That's Bill Biv DeVoe. That's that whole. By the time I was out, yeah. Oh my goodness, that is too funny. I know we on a whole different subject. Now I got to get over. It takes two. Yeah. Then I'm gonna be walking around everybody like, Pastor Miles. It takes two. Like, okay, y'all. You know what? Like, let's go to the club, Pastor. Like, don't mess with me. I ain't gonna mess with you. Yeah.
Everybody at church, we're gonna do the WAP praise.
I know, right? They'll be mixing these takes two in with the praise and worship. Like, Freddie, stop it.
Look, why y'all tripping? Pastor went in the concert on Friday night. The last night of revival, Pastor Miles was in concert for real.
Uh-oh.
I looked up. There was a man singing, and I'm looking around like, wait a minute, who's singing? And I look up, and it was Pastor Miles. And he was, I'm telling you, Pastor Miles was in concert.
But because y'all are good singers, I don't have to sing. But this is
but
it.
Pastor, it wasn't bad. We let you lead. We let you lead. We let you lead, and you carried it.
Yeah, it was. I used to do praise and worship when Bishop was there. I used to do it before he would come up on Thursday nights. Yeah. So yeah, I just don't have to because we got a great praise and worship team. So it's like, okay, that's yeah. So yeah, I'm like, no, I don't, because some pastors, they sing for 30 minutes. It's like, dude, are you gonna sing or preach? Like, no. So, like, dude, you don't even want to preach. You just want to sing. But yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is a happy moment.
I would like to give a list. I know you were talking about. You brought the subject up. Well, we brought the subject up.
Okay.
When to walk away.
Yeah.
I know y'all like, okay, she bring us back in.
Yeah, bring us back in. Go ahead on school teacher.
I'm gonna give you 7 that I see. When to walk away from a relationship. If you feel respect is not served anymore.
Mm-hmm.
There is abuse in your relationship. They have cheated on you. Your partner does not take any responsibility. You cannot see the future with your partner. There is no trust. And the last one, the channel to communicate with your partner is closed.
Yeah, that's a lot. So
those were 7 good reasons when to walk away from a relationship.
Whoa. Well, let me ask you.
You just have to snatch the Band-Aid off and do it.
But Freddie, how do you get to those that quick? Them some majors right there, man. I mean, you can't be that. You can't be there at date one. I mean, I don't think you can be there. I mean, Freddie talk about gut checks. I mean, if you get a gut check, like whatever, if you sit at the table and the girl looking at every fella that walk in, it might be, I don't know. It's like,
right. That's disrespectful.
Right. So yeah, I mean, some of those I can see that, right? Or that person
some of those can be in a relationship. As a matter of fact, Pastor, some of them can be in a relationship and not a marriage. I mean, there are women that are with boyfriends and they're being abused.
Yes,
they're being beat.
That's it.
And they're being cheated on.
Right. 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 That's good.
So
That's good.
everything that I named, it can be in a dating relationship,
It
not just
can.
in a marriage.
Oh no, you good, Freddie. No, I agree totally. I mean, because hopefully you'll get that in dating. It's if you're dating somebody, hopefully you'll get to those before you get married. I mean,
Right.
if yeah, if they can fake it before, until they get married, it's already trouble. That's like, cause how is that happening? I mean, how did I miss that? And not unless, I mean, of course, in marriage and stuff can go, things can go wrong, but hopefully, I mean, if I get married and then, or we get married and then things start going downhill kind of quickly, that means I must have missed something pre-marriage. But if
Well,
we've been married.
pre-marriage, you can, a lot of times with women, we lose sight of our self-worth. So a lot of
Mm,
us will take anything just to be in something, just to say that we're in something. Yeah,
God, Freddie, that's powerful. Whoa.
yeah.
You know,
I've been
Even
there.
you, even you, Freddie. I mean, hold. I mean, I know you got perspective, but could you see yourself doing that? Like really just denying your kind of your self worth in order to be in a relationship. I mean, maybe not now because you're more mature, but can you see back in the day where you would have given just kind of disregarded yourself for the sake of just being in a relationship?
I did. I did. And
Wow.
not just once, but I found myself repeating it because I hadn't learned my lesson. I still didn't know my self-worth, you know.
Whoa. That's powerful, Freddie. Because I could never see you like that. I mean, because
I
I know
mean,
you
I
now.
was
I
I
know
was
you now.
abused in my relationship with my children's father. He cheated on me. Oh God, more times than one. Let's be real. Even gave me venereal diseases. I'm being real. I'm being transparent. Over and not once, not twice, but I dealt with this. Um, he didn't take responsibility for anything that he was doing. I was crazy. I was seeing things. Um, I
Mm.
couldn't see myself with him. I didn't trust him, and there was no line of communication with him. But I kept taking that. I kept getting into relationships like that. I kept right on getting into relationships like that.
God, Freddie. What broke
Hmm.
it, Brett? What broke the cycle? I mean, was it married? I mean, was it getting married, or what allowed you to kind of start seeing your self worth, or what broke that cycle of allowing yourself to be treated like that?
By the time I got to Barry, I had a sense of no sense. I had a no sense tolerance. I'm not putting up with this because even when he asked me to be his girlfriend, which that was the first time I'd ever had a man or a guy to ask me to be their lady. My
Okay.
response to him was, "What do you want? Are you trying to be in this long term or short term?" I said, "Because I don't have time." And
Mm.
that's exactly what I told him. And I said, "I don't know." I said, "I'll think about it."
Wow. Wow.
But by the time I met Barry, I had matured
Okay. Okay.
and I wasn't taking the junk that I took in the ladder. I just wasn't taking it.
Girl, thanks for being that's transparency, Freddie. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Because I see you
So
such a
if you
strong woman.
see, if you know women that are in relationships like this, there's a root to it. You know, I had a single mother. I grew up with a single mother. I was only around my dad until I was 7 years old, and the whole time that I was around him, he was beating my mom. He was abusive. He was worse than Ike Turner. So there was a lot of things that were going on that I had unanswered questions about. I didn't understand. Nobody talked to me. I didn't have anybody to lead me and guide me. So I made mistakes. And I
Mm.
kept making them until I learned from those mistakes. And
Right.
sometimes I
Right.
didn't have anybody talking to me to guide me. I'm telling you, God's been in my life, and I think he's had a relationship with me. Now, whether or not I had one with him, I can't say I always did, but he's always been there. When I
Amen.
look back, he's always been there. And I've always been able to see where he has showed up or see where he was right there, talking to me, leading me, and guiding me. I mean, it's been nobody but the Lord.
Wow, Freddie.
I should be a basket case with all the stuff that I've gone through. Seriously.
Well, you know how the old folks say, he's a keeper if you want to be kept. Thank God for him keeping you. Thank God for him keep. Well, girl, let me tell you, you do not look like what you've been through. Good gracious. Yeah. Because until you just told me that, I could have never seen you taking anything, because you know, your tolerance for, you know, you have such a low tolerance. And I know you've been through life, and life can cause us sometimes develop different tolerances, especially as we grow old and experience different things. But yeah, when I see Freddie, I just see the strong Freddie. I never would imagine low self-esteem, low self-worth.
Oh my God, yes.
Wow.
And I just encourage anybody that knows somebody that's going through something like that, you know, this is my nugget for tonight. If you know somebody, if you know a young lady, or if you know a young man or a man that's going through something like that, and you're on the outside looking in, I'm telling you, don't leave them behind. You know, it's hard to sit and watch somebody be in something like that, but you're just going to have to wait until they are sick and tired of being sick and tired, because there's nothing that you can say or do that's going to change their mind.
That's right.
They're going to be there until they're ready to leave. That's the sad thing about it. But you can decree and declare and pray, but I'm telling you, it has to be a self-want. They have to want to get out of it. Something has to click for them to walk away from it.
That's right.
Don't encourage them to walk away if you ain't got a place for
them. You know, and I laugh, but you know, we do say that, you know, because you know we tell people to leave, but we don't give them the option. Where are they going? If you got a single mother, if you got somebody who's staying with somebody, you say you just need to leave them. I mean, sometimes that's easier said than done. Especially if you're in an apartment or in a house and you have no means. Sometimes some people are not taking abuse because they dislike it. Sometimes people really don't feel like they have a way out. You know, are we opening our doors and say, hey, not if, you know, brothers are different. I mean, I'm not going, it's hard for me to tell a woman you can come stay with me. I mean, but you know, but women, you know, how many women would tell another woman, hey, until you get your step together, just come stay with me, you know?
I think, really, you know, look, when a person is abusive, right, there's something going on in that person's head, right? And you don't know what door you're opening up. So, yeah, she may even find someplace safe to go, for example, a friend, but then that dude might come over there and start doing, you know what I'm saying? He might be really unhinged, you know?
Right, so, that's true.
Really, so whenever she decides to go, or even he decides to go, whatever the case it be, you know, you just got to make sure that you support them. But again, you know, people say, oh, you should just leave. Yeah, I've been there, you know, but where are they going?
Don't abandon them. Don't abandon them.
They come to your place, and then
they bring that with them.
Just, you know, your family, your life, your relationship. So it's a whole lot, and that's why you have numbers. You know what I'm saying? And then a lot of times, you know, people leave, and within the first 10 to 15 days, they go back because that new beginning is so unfamiliar to them. Even though they're in an abusive relationship, it's familiar to them. You know what I'm saying? They know they got a roof over their head. They know they're gonna eat, even though they got to put up. You know, so at the end of the day, like Patricia said, it with anything, whether it's an abusive relationship or whatever relationship you've been in too long. You know, I always say that, you know, until you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, you're not going to make any moves. You're not going to make any adjustment, you know. So it's just like going to work every day late. You know, you got to do something, you know.
True.
The traffic ain't going to change. The path ain't going to change unless you change the path. You know, the job is there. You know, you got to figure it out. So you get up and, you know, you can't say, oh, I'm going to get up 30 minutes earlier. Yeah, you get up 30 minutes earlier, but you still leave the same time. It didn't change anything.
That's true.
You know, so, but at the end of the day, you just got to be able to support people. And sometimes it ain't even what you say, it's just listening. You know, just being there to listen. Because sometimes that's all people, look, most people, when they're in certain situations, they already know the situation they're in. They just need somebody to talk to. You know, somebody to listen. They don't need you to have anything to say other than, you know what, I'm here to listen when you're ready. You know, so yeah, but yeah, I'm look, I'm not the best relationship advice giver. I would tell you that. I only base things on my life. When people ask me questions, I would tell them what I would do.
That's all we can do, bro. That's
You
it.
know,
Yeah.
I tell, you know, so because we all said, man, that sounds crazy. I won't put up with that, but we don't know until we're in that situation.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
to not get in that situation, we got to start seeing the signs very early on. But some people are really good actors. You know, some people are actors. Some people should get the Academy Award.
True.
Within the first 90 days, they're like, and the Oscar goes to.
And then you already done made this big commitment. Then you already hooked. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah.
I would tell you that there was a situation with my sister, and I told her, I said, look, and I don't get involved, but at that time, you know what, she was my sister, and so I was telling her stuff, but I told her there were some things that, like, to me, that she was seeing that is not going to go away. You know what I'm saying? It sounds like a one-off right now, but it's not going to go away. But her, and to me, my opinion is the invitations were already out, so she went through with it. You know, so I learned now when she talked to me, I just listen. And I don't really have anything to say unless she asks me what my opinion is. And I was like, look, I don't know what to tell you other than when you're ready to do what you need to do, you'll do what you need to do. You know, because once you start forming an opinion about something, because of course it's your family, so yeah, naturally you're gonna gravitate to what your family's saying. But I spend enough time around to see certain things. And I've had people with me that've been there, and they come to me and they're like, "Yo, something is wrong here," and so I just focus a little bit, whenever I'm around. But look, like I told, I don't know if I told you guys where I met my niece prom date last week, and I told him that I showed him the backyard. I said, "You see the backyard?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "It needs fertilizer. Don't be the fertilizer."
Oh God!
Lord Jesus.
I said, and I said, there's a saying where they say there's truth in jokes. Pay attention. So I said, don't worry about my delivery. Pay attention to what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
he remembered.
Smiling with you now. So when I'm out there with the backhoe, it ain't gonna be a joke.
Well, by the time the backhoe is over, that's a done deal anyway. Yeah. Well, look, y'all, we gotta close it. Great conversation. Thank everybody. Valid points. Yeah. Whoa. Next Friday, not this Friday, but next Friday, we'll all be together. I'm excited.
Relationship, maintenance, family, all gloves out.
It is here. Yes.
I'm listening to one song on the way down, and I think it's like a 6 or 7 hour drive. One song. Okay. Here I go. Somebody say you were looking for me. Here I go.
Man, right here. That's your theme song, Anomaly. Man, right here. That fits for you right there. That is that is you, bro. Man, right here. Okay, that's Freddie's theme song. Okay, everybody got to get a theme song. That's too funny. We still using Rocky, Frederica.
Hey, we can do our own theme songs if we want to. We can just do a short intro and everybody walk in on their own song. Just let me know.
Yeah, we'll see. Lord have mercy. And next we have to get a venue, y'all. Next year we're gonna think about a venue. I think it's good to have it at Freedom. But I think some people, when you do the church all the time, I think, and of course I love church, but I think, we might want to think about next year maybe getting a spot that's neutral because we want to really have people to come in. And I know we can talk about this later. But that's been on my mind. And I don't want people to think, well, this is a church event. This is all. So be intimidated like y'all having this at a church. No, it's really, all gloves off. So maybe
Okay.
even next year to think about, hey, let's get a venue, man. Maybe a hotel ballroom or something. And then people will be like, hey, it's whether you saved, unsaved, it's like just come in. And
Okay.
that's now. And we want to tell people it's now. It's not about this is not. We're not making this like church, and you gotta no. It's we're not cursing and everything. We're not cursing. We do want to respect the house like that, but we're talking about everything. So don't just think that we're gonna try to keep it nice and clean. We won't be cursing, but the top it's really every topic. I don't want to start calling topics because you might have your children sitting with you, so we don't want to start
Right.
saying, yeah. But literally, if you can think about it, if it pertains to sex, if it pertains to anything in relationship, really, it's all gloves off. So, even though it's at freedom, like I said, we respect the house. We're not gonna be cursing and stuff like that, but be prepared because it is really about anything you can think about. Bedroom stuff, intimacy. I mean, anything, talking dirty, whatever. So it's that type of. It's gonna be that type of atmosphere. So
Environment.
it's going to be a
Yeah.
type of environment. So, maybe we can think about by the next year, maybe trying to, get a spot so that, it'll just be kind of neutral, so that people won't feel like, well, it's at church and I would know what church is like. Because we want to make sure that we
Agreed.
keep it open and open to everybody. Yeah, we don't want to isolate
Agreed.
anybody. Yeah, yeah. So I definitely want to release with the priest of blessing. I want to thank everybody. But before I release, I want everybody who wants to, you can say your good nights for the night.
Good night, everybody. This is Frederica. And remember, small pebbles create large rocks. Let's continue to build on those relationship nuggets, and we'll eventually become great relationship empires.
That's what's up.
Good night, everybody. Let's continue to heal, build, and grow together.
Mr. 202, Mr. Anomaly. 11 days
Man,
out.
right here.
Man, it's almost right here.
Oh my God, this song's gonna be ringing in my head. My goodness, man. My brother Abram Heath. He might be muted. That's cool. That's cool. Praise God for my brother. And so y'all just want to release you with the priestly blessing on tonight. Enjoyed it. Yeah, Friday, not this Friday, but the next Friday, New Hope, Freedom, and Deliverance, 7:30. Come out, man. All gloves off. Anything you want to talk about, relationships, questions you might have. Everybody's the expert, and nobody's the expert. So hey, listen, we taking it. We just stripping it down and just going forward. So we look forward. I'm finally good to see the anomaly. I've never seen him in person, so I'm definitely looking forward to seeing my brother. And Pastor Michael Taylor, he's on our panel. So yeah, we're gonna have a great time. So I'm definitely looking forward to it, and want to release you with the priesthood blessing that comes from Numbers chapter 6, verses 22 through 27. And I ask if you can put a palm towards the sky. If not, that's fine. Just receive this blessing in the name of Jesus. Start with Numbers 6 and 22, and it reads, "And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying," verse 23, "Speak to Aaron and his sons, saying, this is the way you should bless the Israelites. Say to them," verse 24, "the Lord bless you and keep you, protect you, sustain you, and guard you." Verse 25, "the Lord make his face shine upon you with favor and be gracious to you, surrounding you with loving kindness." Verse 26, "the Lord lift up his countenance, his face upon you with divine approval and give you peace, a tranquil heart and life." And then verse 27, "So Aaron and his sons shall put my name upon the children of Israel, and I will bless them." Thank you, everybody. Y'all have a wonderful
Thank you,
night, and
Pastor. Thank you, family.
amen. And then we're getting ready to switch over to the best in R&B right here on WYRN 106.9 FM. Y'all have a wonderful night.
It takes two.
Yeah, I love you too. Y'all have a good night, man. Bye bye.
Goodbye.